I would say local music is important to me. I think some of my favorite local artists are, I gotta say, right now I'm hugely into Dan Barrett's music. I've always sampled his stuff, whenever it's come out, but I gotta say now, in retrospect to this new Giles Corey album, the new that Novelier album, the black metal project that came out, and of course Have a Nice Life. The guy's great. And what I think is most interesting about him, and what's great about him is that, he's fashioned himself as sort of this new kind of musician who doesn't really market himself as, oh, I'm from this place, I'm from this area. It's just he's an internet musician. He's known more for his internet kind of base as opposed to just being a Connecticut musician. He has tons of fans from all over the world who've enjoyed his stuff. And, of course I like him. I like Procedure Club. They're cool. Of course there are plenty of bands that used to be from Connecticut but aren't anymore that are still great or have roots in Connecticut, like, of course MGMT and Clap Your Hands Say Yeah. And, Apathy. Apathy's great. Connecticut rapper. He just came out with a new album. I enjoyed that. Snake Oil is good. Reviewed them on the YouTube channel. And, Birth of Flower, aka Postmodern Sounds. I don't know if they're doing anything anymore. I think all those guys are busy with school and college, but, I've enjoyed their stuff a lot. Love them. And, Iron Hand. Iron Hand is great too. So yeah, local music is important to me. It's important to have a scene. It's important to be able to experience music outside of just hearing it on record. I'm not saying that there needs to be I'm not one of those people that thinks a majority of the time, you should be seeing shows or you need to see a show every weekend. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of these militant local music people. I think that, in itself can be a little destructive. In that it really limits your point of view. But local music scenes, whether you're going to a local venue, seeing a touring act, or you're, going to a place where you're just seeing local acts, it's important and it's a great experience to be able to see live music. That's important because it gives you a sense of, especially in today's world, where people can use technology to basically make any kind of sound. It's a great show of raw talent because you're actually seeing a performance, and not only raw talent, but you actually kind of see whether or not the band who's made this music really cares, because, if somebody doesn't give a shit, they're going to look like it on stage. And I don't know. I know Apathy is attractive for some people, but not me. I'm not really into Apathy. I'm not really into bands and artists who look like they don't care. And that kind of thing shows live. It's a turnoff for me, but still, I've seen a ton of great live shows in Connecticut, thanks to Toad's Place, thanks to Daniel Street, thanks to Manic Productions, of course, thanks to The Space. And I don't think, and not only that, but thanks to tons of New York venues that I've been to after, hopping on a short train ride. And I don't think my perception of music would be the same if I wasn't exposed to that. So yeah, I remember even when I was a kid, I was going to a lot of VFW shows. In Waterbury, there were a lot of new metal bands playing every weekend at this VFW. And I remember as I grew up and I went to Southern Connecticut State University, I was going to a lot of shows in New Haven, especially at the People's Center. Saw a lot of punk shows down there. And it was just a great way to fill time and a great way to experience music and just be exposed to other artists. Local scene's important, from the bands that are playing to the people who are setting up the show to the venue involved. Connecticut's an expensive state, so expensive in terms of utilities, expensive in terms of just food and shit like that. So it's difficult to run a lot of venues over here, and I'm thankful for what little of that we have.